Good morning and welcome to the course planning presentation for students who are going into grade 10 in September at RE Mountain. My name is Miss Michael and I'll be giving you this presentation, and I'll be talking about how to pick courses for next year, as well as where you can do that and how you can get some help with it. I'd like to start by acknowledging that we are honored to work and learn today on the traditional, unceded, and ancestral territories of the Matsqui, Kwantlen, Katzie, and Semiahmoo First Nations. This is our counseling department. We assign students to counselors based on what their last name is. So hopefully you've connected with your counselor at some point this year. If not, you can see who your counselor is here, and you can always send us a message on Teams with any questions you have. And we also take appointments as well. Mr. Victor Kai, as you can see there, he is our IB coordinator, and he helps students who are planning for their classes in IB. Miss Meenakshi Kelsey is our counseling office assistant. At RE Mountain, we have awesome support services. We have 3 youth care workers, Tristan, Brooks, and Karen. We have 2 Aboriginal support workers, Jen and Kayla. And we also have 2 career advisors, Yvonne and Colleen. The career advisors work out of room 1152. They give excellent career advice. They also help with looking into volunteer and vocational opportunities in the community. They can support students with post-secondary information as well. When looking at graduation requirements, you will be taking these courses that are listed here. So you will be choosing an English 10 class, and there's lots of different options to choose from for English 10. You will also be required to take a social studies 10, a science 10, PE 10, career life education 10, math 10, and then you can see below you can choose 2 electives when you're in grade 10. There are a few other graduation requirements that you will complete in grade 10. So there will be a Literacy 10 exam and a Numeracy 10 exam. These are not for marks towards your English or math classes, but they are information that's gathered by the school district just to see what sort of scores and what levels students are at in numeracy and literacy. There is an Indigenous focus course that can be taken either in grade 10, 11, or 12. So if you don't take it in grade 10, there will be another opportunity to take it in grade 11 or 12. Another graduation requirement that you must have by the time you graduate from RE Mountain is to take a fine arts or applied skills elective. And I'll talk a little bit about that when we get to our elective slide. Again, this can be taken in grade 10, 11, or 12, and only needs to be taken once. You can see ahead for graduation requirements when you're in grade 11 and then in grade 12. In grade 11, you must take an English 11, a socials 11 or 12, a math 11, and a science 11. And then you get 4 electives. So in grade 10, you get 2 electives, but in grade 11, you get 4 electives. You can see that there's no PE requirement in grade 11, and there's no careers requirement in grade 11. In grade 12, there are 2 required courses for graduation, which include English 12 and Career Life Connections. And then you see there is opportunity to take 6 electives. So you get a lot more choice as you move up in your grades. Some questions we often get asked in the counseling department are, do I need a language to graduate? No, you don't need a language to graduate. But second languages are considered an academic class when you're applying to post-secondary. Most universities in BC especially do not require a second language to get into the university. However, if you like languages and if you are doing well in your languages and you want to travel or you want to be more competitive in your workplace and have those different types of opportunities, a second language is a great choice to choose as an elective in grade 10. but it is not a requirement for graduation. Do any courses not count for credit? So if you take the same course more than once, it doesn't count for credit both times. So if you take Science 10 and pass, and then you want to take it again, you wouldn't get credit for both of those classes. In grade 10, there are lots of different choices for English. You can take an English First Peoples class like EFP Literary Studies, New Media, Creative Writing. There's Literary Studies, New Media, Creative Writing, and Composition. So there are lots of great options that you can choose from, and you can see, am I more interested in exploring the creative aspect of writing? Am I looking at how media influences and what are some different ways that I can express my ideas? You can look at different ways of writing, reading. So in our course planning website are a list of all the descriptions of these courses. So it is a good idea to check through that to see what's a good fit for you. In Math 10, there are two options. So one of them is Foundation and Pre-Calculus 10, and one is Workplace Math 10. And it's a good idea to talk to your Math 9 teacher to see what might be a good fit for you between those two classes. This is our flow chart that shows kind of what you can do once you've taken a certain class. So if you see in Math 9, and if you go all the way up to the top, if you go into Workplace Math 10 in grade 10, then you must take Workplace Math 11 in grade 11. You can't take Workplace Math 10 and then follow that in grade 11 with Pre-Calculus 11, because you will not receive the teaching and the content that you'll need to be successful in Pre-Calculus 11, for example. If you take Math 9 and you go into Foundations and Pre-Calculus 10, then you can stream off into either Foundations of Math 11 or Pre-Calculus Math 11. And then from there, you can see what you would take in grade 12. There are some great elective courses offered at RE Mountain, and there's some new ones this year, so I'll make sure to highlight some of those. So in grade 10 for languages, we have French 10, Mandarin 10, and Spanish 10, and you have to have taken that previous language in grade 9. We also have, if you haven't taken a language yet, but you're interested, you can select Introductory Spanish 11 or Introductory Mandarin 11 as an elective. We also have leadership, entrepreneurship, and marketing as options for electives. You do not have to have prior experience in leadership or in marketing to select those classes for your elective. We also have lots of great studio arts options, Art Studio General, Media Arts, Graphic Design, Photography, Studio Arts 3D Ceramics, and then Animation and Printmaking. We have Drama 10 as well, Dance 10, and then in our music stream, we have concert band, and then we'll also be having some other contemporary music classes, like a general one, small ensemble, music skill building, music theory. These are some new classes that are being offered in this coming year. Under home economics, we have food studies, also food studies that's plant-based and vegan cooking, textiles, fashion and design, and then another textile studies class that's based more around arts and crafts. Video production, we have film and television, and then computers, we have computer studies 10. In the tech ed stream, we have power technology, which is kind of the foundation for auto mechanics. We have drafting, electronics and robotics, woodwork, and metalwork. We also have some linear electives, which mean they run all year. And these ones are typically outside of the timetable, except for one. So before and after school, we have our senior concert choir, our intermediate chamber jazz choir, and our intermediate jazz band. After school, we have our media design yearbook 10 class, as well as theater company 10. These all require an application that you can access on our REMSS course planning website. In the timetable, though, we do have a hybrid PE 10 high performance class. So I've talked about the REMSS website quite a bit, and there is a specific course programming booklet and presentation on our course planning website. I really encourage you to check it out because it has some great videos highlighting some of our electives. It shows some of the documents that you need and might want to consider when looking at your course programming. It will have this checklist that shows all the courses that are required for graduation, as well as what are the grade 10 course requirements and the elective options. So your next steps are to review your course selections with your parents or your guardians at home. If you're unsure about some of the electives that are offered here, or you want to know more information, check out the website. But also you can talk with some of the teachers about elective options. If you're really interested in art and you took a visual arts class, maybe you wanted to talk to one of your teachers about what's available and what they would suggest. And that goes for all areas in the school as well. If you have any questions, you can also reach out to your counselor. The deadline for course selection is due February 13th, 2026. So you have about 10 days to do this. And doing it sooner than later is always a good idea. All right, the fun part, entering course requests into My Education BC. So the logon page for MyEdBC looks like this. Your login ID is your student number. Hopefully you've had a chance to log in to MyEdBC for this. If not, your password is going to be your student number $35. And if you've forgotten your password, you can always click I forgot my password and reset it. You might be required to create a new password. And so there will be password requirements that you must meet, which will be listed on the website there. You'll also need to enter your email address and select a security question. When you enter course requests, you'll go to My Info and click on My Info. And then below that drop down there, you'll click Requests from the left side menu. And then you'll read the instructions on this page and it will say attention next year's grade 10s, and it will go over some of the things that I have gone through in this presentation. I don't expect you to remember all of it. That's why there's lots of opportunities to get the information on our website, as well as actually when you sign up, it'll give you instructions. A really important thing that you need to remember is that when you choose 2 electives from the electives menu, you also need to choose at least 2 to 3 alternative requests. We have many students who love a lot of our electives, and sometimes, and you might have experienced this in grade 9 as well, you didn't get all your top choices. While we hope that everyone can get their top choices, sometimes it depends if there's more students that want that class than there is space available, or it might not work out in your timetable. So make sure to select some alternatives. Otherwise, we counselors have to choose those alternatives for you. In order to confirm that you have completed your course selections, click the post button in the bottom left of the screen. If it's not posted, then it doesn't enter, and then we don't get your course selections. And then if you see a red X that comes up, it will show that you have not completed all the areas in your course selection, and it'll tell you what you need to go back and correct. And then if you see the green check mark, it will show that your requests have been posted successfully, and you'll be done. Just a couple last minute reminders. The deadline is February 13th, 2026. Do this on a computer, not on a phone. It's much more user-friendly to go onto MyEd on a computer and to do the course selection process on a computer. All information is available at www.remscoursplanning.ca. There are some of those application-based courses that I had mentioned, like the yearbook class or some of the other courses. And if there is an application-based course, you will find that application form on the REMSS course planning website, and those will also be due February 13th, 2026. I hope this has been a helpful presentation for course planning for the upcoming 2026-2027 school year. Remember to talk to your parents or your guardians about your course selection and reach out to your counselors if you need any help. And we look forward to assisting you in whatever you need for having the classes that are going to be a good fit for you for next year. All right, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.